All right. Hey, everybody. This is Twisted Out of Detail. Just going in for a review on a Nissan Rogue. Um, it's not a 2015 is the one I dealt with. It was an actual 2013. The reason why that's important is 2013 was actually the last year for this model. So like all the visual aesthetics, obviously also some of the processes and everything else that they've done to them, but aesthetically it did change, dramatic change. I kind of like the older ones as I looked, saw the 2015s and older or newer. Um, they don't have this, so they don't have like this cup holder that you see right there. So it's like cup holders, and it has like a nice spot for like if your phone and your keys, because this is it's key fob, so you have a nice place to be able to drop your keys out of the way. Um, the cloth, so the seats are fabric, as you can see. It was pretty tricky to get dog hair out of there. I'm not gonna lie. I wish it was a lot easier. And then obviously you can't use really rough tools on that kind of fabric because you'll either cause tears and stuff like that. And if you go to my Instagram and Facebook page, Twisted All Detail, I think Instagram though is so Twisted Out Detail 907. Actually, I can pull up pictures right now. Um, let's see if it's in here. Right there. So right here, it's pretty dirty right now to where you can't really tell, but let's see if I can get a nice finished one here. And the reason why that's important is, oh, and then I got videos of the full thing. I'm trying to pull up the photo of it being cleaned. Oh, I did not do a finished photo of that. I'm gonna have to redo that. But there was like the dog's claws got stuck in the fabric, and it just started ripping out from the seams from inside of the middle mesh. And at that point, you really can't do anything, and it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. So I was kind of bummed out about that because I have this nicer fabric around the edges, probably more of an elastic, of course, but that's a lot easier. In my personal opinion, everybody has their own opinions. Um, a lot harder for tearing, a lot harder for damage. It's when you get to this like woven mesh. I just always see it on customers' cars, nonstop. It's always damaged. I never understood it. Um, but I digress. I can talk all day just about seating. Um, but you see the cup holders, nice day, nice position. Um, Kind of, obviously if you have a big glass, it's going to be kind of like bulky in the way of the shifter. Small display, very lit up. If you're trying to clean this car yourself, you're going to need very long bristle brushes for cleaning out around your speedometer and your RPM display, because right in there, I mean, it's about 3 inches deep of space for dust to just set. And it was extremely annoying, even for myself with the tools I have. I was able to get it all. Like, it was super easy for me, but it was annoying that they allowed that to be okay, to allow um, either dirt to settle. I mean, if you spilled your drink, it has 3 inches to be able to sit in there and just like get nasty. It's like, what are you gonna do when you don't have these type of tools to get this type of job done? Um, the floor fabric was relatively easy to maneuver dog hair out of, any debris. I'd say it's a pretty rugged floor um, from cleaning. I have a scrub brush that's attached to a drill, so it's just easy for me to begin with. But overall, the flooring was extremely easy to vacuum, drill out all the just stains that were in there. Over the seats. The seats were actually a lot harder. I had to actually steam them a little bit to open up the pores of the fabrics and to then shampoo over that steam. Um, A lot of space. I would say it's a good family car for 4 people, 2 adults, 2 kids. You get 3 kids in there, it's pretty sandwiched in the back. It looks very spacious, but it's not. I mean, that middle seat is the middle seat for the reason. You know how, I don't know if you guys ever did this, but me personally, my family, I never want to be in the middle. Back in the day, it's still true to this day with this car from what I was doing in detailing. It didn't have the cup holder fold down. It was this one right here, so it looked like this. And that's again that this mesh seating, this type of fabric, I personally feel is a lot more durable. It can take a lot more of a beating, a lot easier to clean. It's a lot harder for stains to stay because it's so tightly packed where it doesn't soak up the chemicals or the liquids, even debris. So even the dog hair that was in this area was easier to get out than in this area, because these woven, almost like waffle woven shapes. So it's like you pull it out and it's sliding into the next one because there's a groove. So it really stinks to clean that. Not the smell, but it just sucks. I mean, it's really a pain in the ass. Um, then the trunk space, pretty open, has its locks, super wide for, I would have to say, how compact this is. A lot of room. Obviously, wheel wells, you can't do anything about that. Um, Seats were extremely easy to fold down. There's a button up here that should just pull up and it drops. The part that I don't like about this, though, where you see this one's down, is it's very easy for the seatbelt to fall behind the seat and then get locked in there. So then you could have a situation of you can't get it out because it's now like pressure locked with the amount of um, just debris, which in this case would be the seatbelt, is now in the way of causing it to unlock. I do wish they had like a holder, or unless the customer broke it off because they didn't see it, but it didn't have a holder on it to make that not happen. So I had to be very conscious not to have that happen. Only reason why I said it is because it did happen when I started detailing, and it did lock between here to where it was like a lot of time was spent just to get that unlocked. Oh, here's a good photo. So like that's what I'm saying. Very easy. The fabric back here is a lot more forgiving. It's made to take a beating. I won't say do that to do that. I always tell people get a weather tech, something. Um, just take care of your car. Like if you know you're like a camper or you're outdoorsy or you're just like construction wise, you need to have something in place to protect your stuff. Your car is your stuff. Like, yeah, it's not going to like gain value by having it like pristine, but it makes it easier to clean up messes when you have them basically locked down. Like when you have your stuff locked down, there's no problems. I see that a lot with people that I deal with in detail, and I go through the whole ringer with them. Like, you have to do this, and this. I'm like, oh, it's kind of expensive. I'm like, yeah, but this detail cost you $400, $500, $600 because you didn't want to spend $150, $200. So, do you want to spend 200? Do you want to like have this happen again and you have to spend 600 rather than maybe 200 2 times a year, 1 time a year? You get that nice spring cleaning done. And that's what I try to teach my clients about all the time. So I would have to say the Nissan Rogue, I have to give it I'll go to 7.5 as far as like ease of cleaning, because I just did the interior. Exterior was, I mean, it's pretty clear if I was to do the exterior. The only thing I don't like about the exterior is those front scoop vents. Obviously, you have to use a brush, and I like to use a very uh, high saturation of car soap and a squirt bottle that I have, just to make it just a lot more lubricated. That way, when I get my brush in there, the dirt stays lifted longer. That way, as I'm cleaning the rest of the car, it's not sitting down again very soon to where then I can get to it. Um, Obviously, also with the fog lights down here, again, I do the same thing. Um, Otherwise, the exterior is actually very, very minimal amount of tricks and situations to get into all the nicks and crannies. It doesn't have a lot from this picture, and it actually doesn't have a lot personally when I was actually detailing it. But it did have this though. It had the rack up top to be able to put a rack on top, but they didn't have one, so it would have been 100% easy. Other people, of course, if they have racks on there, it's like, ooh, it's gonna be a little tough. But again, 2013. This is the last that this will be of this style. They went to something new in 2014, and I think they even, weird enough, did a whole nother style of Rogue for 2020, or if it was not for just 2021. That being said, this Nissan Rogue was a 7.5 in the cleaning scale. I would have given it higher if it wasn't for those mesh woven seats. But even for those that are actually professional, even to those that are not, that's a pain in the ass to get dog hair, crumbs out of, unless you have, in the case of very high powered air tools, as well as cleaning tools and products to get that dog hair out, as well as anything else. So that's it for Twisted Auto. Have a good night.